Namaskaram, Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 34th sloka. In this sloka, Arjuna says, Arjuna has asked Krishna about his mind. So he spoke to Krishna in sloka 33 and 34. So in 34 he continues. The mind is very restless, turbulent, strong, obstinate. O Krishna, it appears to me that it is more difficult to control than the wind. So Arjuna expressed his mental condition. So he describes the troubles of mind, the troublesome mind. So he says, mind becomes restless, mind is... So he is coming out with all the qualities of mind. So it is like he is representing us, because every one of us we all experience the same problems with our mind. So Arjuna describes the mind, the travel of mind in different directions, and from subject to subject, and from time to time, and mind is turbulent. So here in the sloka he says Sanchalam and Pramati. So Sanchalam, very fickle minded. So Arjuna is describing how his mind is. Sanchalam, then Pramadi. Pramadi, very rebellious. Why it is rebellious? Because it has got desires. So the desires make the mind very rebellious. Then he mentions Nigraham. The Nigraham, very difficult to hold back. Then Balavat, very powerful. And Vayoriva, so it's like of wind. So he's comparing the mind and the wind. So mind, wind. So only one letter is different. M, here W. And I heard in someone's speech that mind, the inverted, when you see wind, the inverted M. So that is why they are like, they have the same qualities. Yes, it is true. So Arjuna says it is like how we control, can we control the mind? It is not, it is very difficult to control the mind. So mind, he says, it is more difficult to control mind than the wind. So he says, no, it is not possible. Whatever you say, so he is telling Krishna. Here he calls him Krishna because Krishna, the name, forcefully attracts the minds of the most powerfully minded yogis and paramahamsas. The moment they hear Krishna, the name, they also get attracted or diverted towards the name. So that is what he says. That is why here he mentions, he calls him Krishna. So Arjuna is speaking out. The man, how is his mind? So Arjuna indicates that the mind is turbulent, and it is very restless, and it is very strong, and it is very obstinate. And it is rebellious, paramati. So he is giving out all this. So how can I get to that focus, the mind, the mind which can be diverted to only one subject, that is God. So I'm finding it difficult. Is it possible? He says it is more difficult than controlling the wind. So he says fickle-minded, he says balavat, powerful, and he said the dridam, unyielding mind. It does not listen to me. It does, because it's very powerful. It does what it feels. So mind is out of control. But Krishna says, after hearing all this, it is difficult only. Bringing mind under control is difficult, that is very natural, but you can control it with practice and dispassion. This is the advice given by Bhagavan. From next sloka we will find that. So it is possible. So the message is to us, yes, it is possible for everyone, and you should have that vairagya. To get that, you should read scriptures and you should talk about God, hear the leelas of God and read about God. So what happens? You get into only get subject on Bhagavan. So you get into Sattvic Guna and you will not have any other thought in your mind. So your mind is slowly getting under control because you are practicing it. Bhagavan already said, while you practice, you are getting into slowly. As you practice, you get into that yogi stage. So practice is very important and that continuous effort is very important. You should have that vairagya. So it is possible. But Arjuna said, impossible. But he says, no, it is possible. Anything impossible can be achieved by starting with small steps. That is what Bhagavan says. So any work, for example, if you are reading 100 slokas, initially we feel, oh, it's very difficult. No, I can't learn. But if you learn one sloka a day, definitely, then you practice that for 1 week, then go to the next sloka, be thorough with that for a week, you practice, then you will do that. It is possible. So start with the small steps. 1 week, 1 sloka. So you will get into that. So that is what Bhagavan advises. He recommends. Anything is possible by starting with small steps. So here Bhagavan is saying, yes, you do practice, you will get that controlled mind. So when do we have an uncontrolled mind? When you are attached to material world. So when you are attached to material world, the thoughts of the material world disturb us. When you are after the senses, when you are after the things, what happens? You develop attachment, you develop hatred, you develop greediness, and you develop envy. So what happens? All this overpower intellect. Intellect controls the mind if we are in a spiritual path. But if you are not in spiritual path, if you are not having fixing God on your mind and your mind travels around, then the intellect does not do its role because the mind takes the upper hand. So the mind overpowers intellect. So it destroys the discriminatory power. What is good, what is bad. We are not able to discriminate because the thoughts are going on. So these thoughts are harmful thoughts. They are not keeping us in peace. And the thoughts travel very fast in our mind. So when the thoughts disturb like this, we find difficult to control them, like how we are not able to control the wind. So when no one can control the wind. So here the nature of mind cannot be controlled. So Arjuna says, no, I am not able to control. It is not possible for me. So Arjuna explains his mental condition. So how to get it? That how to get it is answer given by Bhagavan in the next sloka. Now the mental condition of Arjuna is explained through this sloka by himself. This Arjuna, who was he? When he was a student of Dronacharya, one day he was teaching all the 5 brothers. So he was asking them to aim on a toy bird which is tied on one of the branches of the tree. He asked everyone, can you see that? What can you see? Then they each one said, I see a tree, I see a leaf, I see a branch. And Arjuna said, I see eye of a bird. Then he aimed at the eye of the bird and he proved his skill. So the Guru was very happy. So he had so much of focused mind on eye of the bird and he could do it. And he knew that is what expected by his Guru Dronacharya. So he did it. So he had that focused mind and he paid full attention on aiming the eye of the bird, and he could not see tree or leaf or any other things. He could see only eye of the bird, means how much concentration he would have paid. So that was the nature of Arjuna. But now, because he is in confusion, after coming to the battlefield, he saw his people and he started thinking, why should I kill them? Will I get bad name? Will I get sins? So he was talking about all that. So he got into that moham, he got into that bodily related issues. So he became restless. His mind became restless. So he was not able to control his mind. He was not able to analyze the purpose of being there. Why getting confused there? Krishna asked him. Why at wrong time he was showing compassion to people, those who do not deserve. But Arjuna could not even understand that. That means he was in a very agitated mind. He was in a very restless mind. So that is what he is saying. The reason is, he had already conceived the concept in his mind. The concept is, why should I kill them? And what am I going to get? So he initially came there to take revenge of the actions of Duryodhana and his brothers, but here completely changed. So mind, so the thoughts made him change. So Bhagavan says no. How we aimed at the eye of the bird, that concentration has to be there. So you be strong in your mind and have a goal. So what is your goal now? You think of that goal and do it, you will do it. So change, how can you change your mind? Only by removing the thoughts of attachment.